Okay, so this evening it's time for number 9 in my little countdown of what I think are the best rock records of 2023. As I say, we've come to number 9, and it's an American band who do sort of doomy music, but it's got a really pleasant edge, if that makes any sense. It's got a really kind of uplifting vibe to it, despite the fact that it's actually quite doom-laden. Okay, what am I talking about? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about America's Cadabra and the record Umbra, which came out October this year, and I've been listening to it pretty much ever since because I love it. Like I say, it's got this remarkable ability to make you feel elated, but also with this sort of doomy aspect to their music, because that's basically what you'd say they are. You'd say that this band are essentially a doom rock band, doom metal band, whatever you want to call them. But like I say, and the main thing that causes this feeling of elation, these good vibes, I suppose, of the guitar tone and the vocals. So, who is responsible for those vocals? And who's in the rest of the band? Well, we have on guitar and vocals Mr. Garrett Zanol. On bass, Ian Nelson. Drums, Chase Howard. And they have, they're officially a three-piece band, but they have additional help from, on the keyboards, Blake Braley or Braley. Now, keyboards don't feature that heavily in the band, but when they do appear, they sound really good. It's kind of a sort of a heavy sort of organ sound, very reminiscent of the 70s. This band really, they're clearly influenced by Black Sabbath and some of the British bands. I mean, that is, okay, it may have been taken in America, but that is a very sort of British image. They're the kind of pictures I was taking when I first got into photography 30 years ago, going around old buildings and graveyards and photographing things just like that, particularly in the winter. So, you know from looking at that what kind of band they are. They're downbeat, there's not many laughs, but there's not meant to be. It's not that kind of band. So, what songs do we have on here? Well, starts off with White Willows, then High Priestess, Midnight Hour, The Serpent, which is a fantastic song, The Devil. Personally, I think The Serpent and The Devil are my favourite songs on this. They're just absolutely superb. The Serpent is basically about burning a witch. So, you know, it's like I say, not many laughs. And then you've got The Devil, which is self-explanatory, really. It's about the devil. And you've got Battle of Avalon, and Mountain Tamer, which is the longest thing on the record, and sort of closes it out. But then you have a revisit of The Serpent called The Serpent 2. So, I mean, what do I actually think of this record? Is it actually any good? Well, actually, having only discovered the band, they've got 2 records. Having only discovered the band very, very recently through Heavy Psych Sounds, I would say it's been a very pleasant journey, a very pleasant surprise getting into their music. And I really need to listen to that first one more, because I'm much more familiar with the second one, Umbra. And I need to get into that first one because I know it's good, but I need to hear it more often. So, are they Cadabra? Are they a new band on you? Well, if they are, make sure they're not for much longer. Even if you only listen to 2 songs, I would recommend The Devil and The Serpent. Those 2 are easier pathways into this music, this band, this genre, if it's brand new to you, because they're the sort of the most hooky the most accessible. Again, that voice of Mr. Zanol, couldn't remember his name there, Garrett Zanol, is really the thing that makes this a little bit more accessible for people who are maybe not that familiar with this kind of downbeat, doom kind of rock. Definitely. I mean, when you actually look at them, it's strange because you look at a picture of them and they're quite dark and moody looking, and then when you hear them, the music doesn't fit the image. I mean, I've only seen one picture of them, but, you know, it doesn't really fit the image, and that's unusual, I think. Most bands tend to look like they sound, but these guys they sound more, I don't know how to say it, I don't want to say pleasant, but they sound more sort of friendly, more sort of accessible, more sort of approachable than how they look. Because they don't look particularly approachable. That doesn't mean they look unapproachable. It's just somewhere in between. And that's, to me, an unusual thing about this band. And it's a unique thing about this band as well. And that's one of the things I like about them. So with the guitar tone, the very uplifting vocals, and the tremendous lyrics about all manner of demonic things like, well, if you could call it demonic, terrible things like burning old ladies because they're witches. That's what makes this record. Cadabra and their record Umbra. A lot of going on there. All the way from the States. My number 9 of this year's 2023 countdown to best rock record, in my opinion, of, as I said, 2023.